As a helicopter pilot in Vietnam, David Mays did everything from dropping off sniper teams to rescuing wounded soldiers.
Our Joan Hallmark brings us his story in tonight's Freedom Fighters.
I flew out of Benoit, which is right here next to Saigon.
David Mays joined the Air Force after his second year in college.
Since I'd had 2 years of college, that qualified me for warrant officer candidate school so I could go fly helicopters.
Mays arrived in Vietnam in 1969 in the middle of a Tet Offensive.
Helicopters played a big role in Vietnam.
Yes, ma'am, they did. I think we made a significant difference to a lot of lives. I mean, we hauled, I flew lots of single ship missions, so I put sniper teams out, I spotted for B-52 arc lights, I worked with the Navy, I got to do a whole lot of things. I worked with MAC-V, flying around doctors and nurses and teachers to schools out in the villages.
Because the demand was so great and medevac helicopters couldn't be everywhere, many of Mays' missions were getting wounded soldiers out of battle zones and saving their lives. Unfortunately, not everyone could be saved.
So we hauled a lot of wounded. We hauled people in body bags. I tell people, you know, you don't know what the smell's like till you pull somebody out of the river. I'm sorry. It's been in there 2 or 3 weeks, and you fly them back to the base. That's a smell you don't ever forget.
Did you have nightmares when you got back?
I still do.
Still do.
Yeah.
Although Mays was never wounded, 2 of the helicopters he flew were destroyed, and a third got a shell lodged in it before takeoff. With close to 1,400 hours in the air, he was constantly a target.
I was shot at. I mean, you know, I've had times I thought that was it. The worst one was I was sitting on a pad and we were loading wounded in the back, and as I looked out my window, I saw a machine gun shooting at us. And as I watched the tracers come across the ground, coming up at me, I thought that was going to be it.
The bullet stopped just before reaching Mays. To this day, he doesn't know why, but he believes it has something to do with his mother's Bible.
Every day I was in Vietnam, every day she prayed Psalms 91 for me. Every day.
Mays credits his mother's prayers with saving his life that time and during his entire stay in Vietnam, including the months he spent with the South Vietnamese Air Force. Like others who served in the Vietnam War, David Mays returned home to a country hostile to his sacrifices, but he looks back at that time with forgiveness.
We have a good country. We make lots of mistakes, and we're all humans. But life is not about the mistakes. Life is about overcoming the mistakes.
In Longview, for Freedom Fighters, Joan Hallmark, KLTV 7 News.